When life gets real, the mic stays warm. Hosted by the dad with lots of charm. Insights are sharp and data's tight. Lance already and the joke's online. Hot takes, real talk, keeping it true. From high school halls to podcast cues, live a little, learn a lot. Turn it up, your show is hot. Grab your coffee, let's get into it. No filter, no fluff, just real talk. Let's do it. Ready or not, here we go. It's the time for Muffman to start the show.
Welcome to Hot Takes with the Murphman. I am the Murphman here with my co-host Connor. How are we doing today, Connor?
Doing good today, Murphman. How are we doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I gotta tell you, I really am doing pretty good. You know, one of the things that I think is funny is school started this week for me,
Yes.
and it has been so much fun because I got to see the students again and everything, and then we have new NHS students coming in, and it was just nice to get back into the grind. You know,
Yeah, that's cool.
when do you start?
The 24th.
The 24th. Okay. So you're gonna be ready for that?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
You hope so?
I hope so.
Yeah, this is your second year of college.
Yeah, it is.
And being second year of college, do you feel more prepared now than you did last semester or last year?
A little. I'll say a little bit more. Yeah.
A little bit more?
Not much, but yeah.
If you had to think of any lessons you've learned from your first year in college, what would you like to share with the crowd?
It sucks. That's all I can say.
It doesn't suck.
It sucks.
It doesn't
It
suck.
sucks.
You suck.
The school sucks.
No, it doesn't.
It's UTEP.
Well, what'd you learn as a freshman was the question.
That sucks. I don't know. I did mostly coding, I guess. That's it.
All right, you didn't learn any lessons last semester. You didn't learn anything. I'm not talking about school-wise. I'm talking about like talking to your teachers.
Oh, well,
All of what we do in the
Well-
podcast.
I didn't really do that because it's my first year. I didn't really do anything.
Okay, did you learn that maybe you need to do that this
Oh,
semester?
yes.
Okay, then
Okay. Well, we're talking about last semester, not this year.
what are things you learned from last semester
Or last year.
or last year? And I'll add to that you're going to use now. Is that better?
Yes, that's better.
So what did you learn?
We just went through this. Talking to teachers, talking to more students, getting to class on time, learning to schedule. I mean, just the work, the basics, I guess. I don't really know what to say for that.
What about going out with friends or making friends or going to
I
the
said making
union?
friends.
No, but going to the union.
I don't go anywhere. Like, I don't go there as much.
Okay.
I only go for like to sit down, and there's rarely any spots like there to sit down.
Because it's always full.
Yeah, sometimes.
All right. Well, before we get the actual show started, you guys, I want to talk about Connor and I are not professionals. We are a father and son duo doing a podcast about college, and our opinions are ours alone. And sometimes we tend to get into heated debates, everything. You're welcome to join in on the chat with us here on MBR Talk Roku. And we'd be happy to interact with you there. If you have any feedback for us, please give it to us there. But I do want to say sometimes we get a little heated in our arguments. Don't worry, we're okay. This is just our relationship that we have. But I think it's time we ignite the fuse. What do you think, Connor?
This sounds good to me.
All right, let's ignite the fuse.
Welcome to Hot Takes with the Murph Man. Today, in episode 49, we are talking about the professional development plan, charting your career growth. A job is what you're paid to do now. A career is the sum of your professional journey. A professional development plan, PDP, is your personal roadmap, turning your career aspirations from a vague dream into an actionable strategy. The fuse is lit. Murph Man, take the mic.
Like we said, we have the career choice that we make. And I started off in the arcade. I started off as a cart boy at Kmart. I started off working in the floor, a cashier. That has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
And that's where that career comes from. Okay. A career is the sum of your professional journey. But a professional development plan is your personal roadmap on how to have a career that's successful. Okay, the PDP, that's what we're going to be talking about. And we never start at the beginning, right? We don't really think about our career at 15, 16, 17 years old. I have students that I work with on NHS that know what they want to do. Like I have one guy who wants to be a doctor, one wants to be a pilot. There's things like that. Like the one girl wants to be a pilot. She's an amazing student and everything. And her parents are pilots. So it's pretty natural that you become a pilot, right?
Yeah.
Because one, it's fun, but two, she already has the parents who've been in there. So she already knows what the career is like. And she already knows if she wants to be in it or not.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that you have to ask yourself if you're at the point in your career where you're ready to take that step and move further ahead, or to change gears. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's do the burning question, and we will see what the question is for today.
Are you fit or are you ADD? The best way to ask. Today's burning question is, what is a skill gap? First choice is A, the difference between your skills and a coworker's skills. Then B, the difference between the skills you have and the skills you need for your next role. Or is it C, the skills you learn in college? Maybe it's D, the skills you learn on the job. Murph Man, we are ready to hear what the flashpoint is.
All right. So what is the skills gap, Connor? Okay, that's what they really talk about here. We have the difference between your skills and a coworker skills, or between the skills that you have and the skills you need, or the skills you learn in college, or the skills you learn on the job. What do you think it is?
I think it's B, the difference between the skills you have and the skills you need for the next role.
Exactly. And when we have the gap, all right, of what do we know, what do we need to know? I'll give you an example. When I started counseling at the runaway shelter, I had been doing counseling in the Army. I had worked with day programs. I've supervised programs. I've done all that. And all of a sudden, I was in a counseling position with kids that I had never, ever thought I would do. Okay. I had a huge skill gap, but I was able to get the other skills that I had and morph them into becoming a counselor for kids. So I had the skills. I just needed to learn how to apply it to students and to kids. And working with families was also new to me,
Yeah.
So that was another skill gap I had. Does that mean I didn't know my job? No. It's just there's certain things you have to learn how to do that if you've never been exposed to them, you have to learn them, right?
Yeah.
For example, if you were to say, when you had your job at the movie theater, did you really know how everything worked in the movie theater? No, you had no clue. We have never been exposed to that, right? You had a skills gap, and you had to learn how to do that. One of my favorite things I talk about is shopping carts. And what do I tell you every time I see people pushing shopping carts now?
That they're lucky that they have the little
robot machine that pushes it for them. They just stand there, right?
yeah.
Well, I think it's funny because there's so much that there's so much going on, okay, and you don't know it because you've just never been exposed to it,
Exactly.
you know. I want to give a shout out to Cassie real quick. She's over here giving us wave lights and hand hearts and Cupid koalas. Thank you very much for that, Cassie. Much appreciated.
Yes, thank you.
And then Gels just joined. Welcome, Gels. How we doing, everybody? You know, as you talk about all this, right, and your skills are something you don't know, it's not a bad thing because you've never been exposed to it. All right, so let's talk about today's hot take, and let's see what I have to say about this.
Fitting in leads to burnout. Today's hot take is this: focusing on the skill gap for the job above you is the only way to earn a promotion. If you are only focused on mastering the tasks you are currently paid for, you are implicitly telling the organization you are comfortable staying right where you are.
All right, so today's hot take. Fitting in leads to burnout. Value is your only relevant metric. How important are you to the job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And focusing on the skill gap for the job, you always is your way to earn a promotion. Okay, if you see your career path right, and you have a skill gap, and you work toward it, you're focused on mastering the tasks you're currently paid for, and you are also telling the organization you are comfortable staying right where you are because you're learning, right?
Yeah.
There's some things you can do that just do not matter, right? They don't matter at all. And that's why I think it's so funny is everything we do at work is so important that you need to learn it and you need to be able to have it. So what do you think about that, Connor? You know, you got to show your boss that you're actually doing what you need to do to keep your job.
Yeah, that's obviously one of the key points you need to do
Right.
in order to have a job.
Right.
Is to make sure that your boss knows what you're doing.
Last week, you know, we've been talking about managing up, talking to your boss, letting them know what's going on, reporting to your boss.
Mm-hmm.
But also, what do they see? Okay. When you learn a new skill, you should let your boss know.
It depends on what skill.
Well, yeah.
If something that doesn't
Hey,
contribute.
I learned how to use a Coke machine. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. But hey, I cleaned the popcorn machine for the first time. That's a big one. Earlier, I was saying, what do I hate most about the shopping cart boys of today? They had that machine.
Yeah.
I had to push metal carts. They didn't have the lower weight carts. They were heavy. And there was a lot of them. And I didn't have a string on one end to hold it with a hook. I had to run and stop it from hitting cars if it got away from me. And then I had to do that in the rain, the snow, the heat. It didn't matter. Carts had to come in. And I've told you stories about like during Christmas holidays, there were no carts available. And I told you we went to Sam's. Did I point out how many carts they have? No, I forgot to do that. But if you go at Christmas, there'll be maybe 4 carts available.
Wow.
And it's crazy. Just being a cart boy, I have respect for them because they do a lot more than you think. And when you just leave your cart laying somewhere, that's not fair to everybody, is it?
Mm-mm.
So let's go ahead and take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about those goals that we can have that will let us define more of what we're going to be doing today. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
According to the VA's suicide data report, an average of 22 veterans die by suicide every single day. This figure is a sobering reality and a crisis that demands our immediate attention and compassion. We must recognize and address the fact that every 24 hours, 22 veterans are losing their lives to suicide. The war doesn't always end when our veterans come home. The invisible wounds they carry, wounds that are real and heavy, require continuous support. No veteran should have to carry this burden alone. Many veterans experience stress and disconnection as they navigate life after service. But there is hope, there is help, and you are not alone in this fight. There's a vibrant community ready to support you, offering friendship, understanding, and shared experiences. You served your country, now let us serve you. Don't fight the toughest battle in silence. Your mission now is to reach out. Dial 988, then press 1. Text them at 838255. The Veterans Crisis Line is available 24/7. Every day, we save lives. Your life is invaluable, and your service is honored. Let's work together to make 22-0 again. No veteran should face their struggles alone. Together, we can ensure every veteran finds the support and hope they deserve.
He gets help, but he still feels off. Sees an ad on the TV about a dog batting said, "This is a man's best friend." Whoa, so he goes one day and he picks it up. Never thought a dog could bring so much love and put a smile on his face. But he's finally found a saving grace. He needs help, but he don't know the path to take or the way to go to be free. Put his mind at ease. We will help, 'cause we can't stand to see a soldier go to God by their own hands. We will do everything we can to make 22-0 again.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this.
Before we get back to the show, we pause for something that matters to the Murph Man deeply. He was inspired by Ryan Spencer's song, Make 22-0 Again. I'd like to remind you that help is always available, 24/7, 365. If you ever feel you need support or are in crisis, call 988 and press 1, or text 838-255. There will always be someone ready to listen. Remember, you are not alone.
All right, we are back. Again, the song Make 22-0 Again. I'm telling you right now, it is real. If you need help, dial 988 and press 1. Someone will be there for you 24/7, 365, or 366 in the leap year.
Yes.
All right. Real quick, let's see if you remember. Where's the world's largest leap year celebration?
I have no idea.
In Anthony.
I don't remember that. Who cares about Anthony?
Oh, if it's the world's largest celebration, we should go there. Do you know where the world's largest alien convention is?
I forgot the city.
Roswell.
Yeah.
All right, we live between these cities. So, all right, you guys, let's talk about those definitions that we need to learn today so we can discuss this episode.
Decoding corporate norms now. Before we dig in, let's clarify some of the key terms we'll be using today while laying down the coals. Professional Development Plan, PDP, a structured document that outlines your career goals and the steps you'll take to achieve them. Skill gap analysis, identifying the skills you currently have versus the skills you need to reach your next career milestone. SMART goals, goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Now that the coals are laid, Murphman, let's discuss the foundation.
All right, yes, let's do that. So we have the first term, Professional Development Plan, PDP. This is a structured document. That means it's written down that outlines your career goals and the steps you take to achieve them. Next is a skill gap analysis, identifying those skills you currently have versus the skills you need to reach to your next career milestone. And last but not least, SMART goals, goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Let's talk about those real quick. And starting off with the professional development plan being written down. Why should we write it down?
I don't know. It's better to see it instead of trying to remember it.
Right. Like that, the steps don't change. You can also add to it or take away from it, right?
Yes.
But you also have something written, something real, something you can see. You know, many years ago, I don't even know if it's still a thing. There was this thing called Amway, and they used to sell products, home products, fairly cheap or cheaper, but they were better quality. So you had to use less. They were more concentrated, whatever it was. It was just a multi-level marketing scheme where I would be an Amway seller. I'd be like, Connor, you can make money here. You make 30% off everything you sell. You're like, sounds easy. Sign me up. And you had to pay your monthly dues, right? Well, I get paid off what you make. I get my percentage.
Your percentage would be what?
I don't know. But the thing is, you would then go hire and try to get 5 people so you can get their percentages, right? But I get some of their percentages from you. That's why it's called multi-level marketing.
No, you get, well, yeah, you get some of their percentages, but you just get it from mine.
No.
Yes.
No, I'm telling you, the way it worked was everybody that signed up, I'd get a certain percentage. Like it would go,
Well,
I'd get 5%, 4%, 3%, 2%, or whatever I don't know what it was.
Okay.
So the more people I signed up, I'd make more money.
More people that I would sign up.
And then you would make more money by more people you sign up. And that was really the thing. It wasn't about selling the products. You know, back in the day, they also had long distance companies that would give you cheaper rates. Okay. So you had to sign up with a company and you'd get their rates. Well, I could say sign up for this amount of money and I'd get a percentage of it. So I started selling that, you know.
Yeah.
But it really, I didn't sell squat. And I had so much of that stuff, all that equipment that I bought in my original kit. It was crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't make any money. And we got out of it fairly quickly. But one thing that I liked about what they did was they had this diamond level. That meant you had so many people working under you. And that's where that percentage rose I talked about, right? So at every level, I get a percentage up to a certain point. And at that diamond level, when I had so many people working under me, you know, that was the goal. And they made us, well, they didn't make us, but they suggested we put up diamond pictures all over the house. Why do you think you'd want to do that?
I don't know.
A constant reminder of your goal everywhere you go. And what have I told you? If you want a Corvette, put a picture of a Corvette in your room every morning. You look up and you're like, that's my goal for, you know, see what I mean?
I guess, yeah.
It's a reminder of what you want. And having a professional development plan written down and something you can review every now and then, make it a goal to review it every Friday and ask yourself, this week, did I do the steps I needed to make my plan viable? And if you did, sorry, puberty sucks.
You're good.
If you did do everything right, you're gonna be okay. I did good. Let's go to the next week and see what I got to do next week, and review it every 2-3 weeks like that, and ask yourself, am I doing what I need to do? What else do I need to add? And that's why you write it down. Okay.
Yeah.
The other part of that was the skill gap. Identifying the skills you have versus the skills you need and how you're going to get there. What do you think is the hardest thing to do when you have a skill gap from your point of view?
Learning the skill.
Learning the skill. But how are you going to learn it if you don't know it? You have to ask for help. And asking for help, for one thing, is hard for a lot of people. Asking for help from a coworker when you say, I don't know how to do this, can you help me? Right? And just there's a gap and you need to learn it somehow. Ask for help, ask for the manual, read the manual, talk to people, see what's going on that you can interact there with your coworkers and learn that new thing. All right. It's very, very important. All right. And the last part is the SMART goal. Now, let's see, Connor, out of memory, do you remember what the acronym SMART stood for?
What it stood for? SMART goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound.
That is
from what I learned from school.
That's correct. What do you think is the most important part there? Is it the specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, or time bound?
I would say all of it, but if I had to choose one, achievable.
Achievable? Okay, let's talk about that. I love talking about this specifically.
Okay.
You say achievable. We'll get to that in a little bit, but let me go over each one. Specific. You need to have a goal that is very specific about what you're trying to get to, right? Trying to get more listeners, trying to get more followers, interacting with people, whatever that happens to be for us in the podcast. Personally, being able to fix up the house, add the other bedrooms we want to add, things like that, right?
Yeah.
Personally, have my business succeed, start doing shows around town and everything. Professionally, working at work and doing the best I can. Okay, those are all goals. Are they specific?
Yeah.
Are they?
Well, when you say specific, what do you mean specific? Like,
that's why I say those are goals. They're very clear goals.
Yeah.
To do better. Well, what does that mean? Filing your paperwork every day, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like doing your notes every day before you leave for the day, whatever the case may be. Doing your homework before you leave school, all that stuff, right? And that's sort of what you have to look at. And the more specific the goal, you don't want to be too specific. But the more specific the goal, the better chances you are at succeeding and completing it. I wanted to be a counselor. What are the steps to get there? Get a degree, licensing, finding a job, making sure you like it, finding a certain direction or profession in the counseling field, right?
Yeah.
Those are specific, very specific. I needed to get a master's degree, period. That's not a degree. I needed a master's degree. And then I needed another 15 or 18 hours into a PhD, right? Those are very specific goals. Saying I need a degree is a goal, not specific enough. All right. The next one, measurable. When you're working on a goal, like for example, if I say I want to be a millionaire by the time I retire, what's my measurement? My bank account, right? All my stocks and bonds, all my properties, whatever I have, added together, gets a million. I can say I'm a millionaire now. That's measurable. Yeah. Saying I want to be rich, again, it's not specific. What's the definition of rich? right? And then how do you measure that? Are you rich when you make 200,000 a year, or are you rich when you make 20 million a year? Again,
I'd be happy with 200.
I'd be happy with 200, right? Would we be rich?
Richer, yeah, than
Well,
what we are.
Yeah. Would I eventually become rich if I got that money and was able to save it and invest it properly and everything? Yeah. Okay. But right now, 200,000, it's just better than we are. All right. Now, achievable. Is it possible? That's what you have to ask yourself. All right. If you put $20 in the bank today, 40 years from now, it could be worth 300. I don't know. Don't count my math on that. If I put $20 today, by the time I retire, I'll have 25. Maybe not even that much.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is when you first start a savings, and then your dividend comes back from the bank and it says you made 1 cent interest. You know, you made 5 cents in it. You made 6. You made 10. You made $1.20. You know, you see that number, right? And you see you're getting there, but is it really achievable? Okay. And then is it relevant? Meaning, when you have a goal, is it something that you're working toward that you want to do? Is there a reason for it? Not just, I want to, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And last but not least, time bound. I want this by this time. Whatever you consider that. Okay. Now, if you say, I want to own a house by the time I have my degree finished, you could wait till you're 60 to take that last class you need, right?
Yeah.
So you want to have that time bound. You want to put a time frame on it and say by this time. So the example I like to use on this is I want to be able to go into space, right? And see the earth from the sky, from the universe. Okay. Is that a specific goal?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Is it measurable?
Yeah.
So I'll be up there, right? I'm in space. Hey, right now I'm floating on water. I'm floating, right? Then is it achievable? Well,
With the training and effort,
Okay. In the old days, you had to be an astronaut.
your degrees also, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You have to
Get a job.
Well, you have to. There's a lot of steps you have to take to become an astronaut. Now, what's the only thing I need to go into space?
I don't know.
Money. Pay $20 million to go up into space. That's all I need.
Would you
Right.
do it?
Hell yeah. If I had several hundreds of millions, maybe in a billion, to where 20 million doesn't really matter.
Not if you had 20 million, would you spend it all on to go
No.
to space and back, or
If it could be up there for longer.
well, how long do you think?
3 minutes. I don't know if that's worth it to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Going up there, waiting for 3 minutes, then coming down.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be enough for me.
Do you think it would be enough?
Yeah, I don't think it would be enough.
That's
I want
more than
longer.
anybody else.
Okay, can I go up a second time, a third time, a fifth time if I'm that rich?
You got 20 million.
If
You
I'm
got 40
Elon,
million?
if I'm Elon or
60
Jeff, I can do
million?
that, right?
Well, they made a business.
You know, but all I need is money. Is it relevant? Yeah, I want to. It's something I would like to do. I have an interest in astronomy and space. All right, is it time bound? Well, I want to do it before I die.
Yeah.
Is that time bound? Yes, but first I have to get the money, and so see how goals build on each other. So is me wanting to go to space a smart goal?
Yeah.
It's possible, right? I could win the lottery, whatever, right? So there's always that chance. Am I working toward it? No. If I become a billionaire, I think if I ever got to 1 billion, I would actually get a flight for us and the girls.
Really?
Yeah, I would get everybody up there. We'd all die together.
Okay.
No, if I get to $1 billion, I'd want to, share the wealth, and that's something I'd want to do. I would take my friends up,
If they want to.
if they want to. I'm not going to force them to. But when you think about this stuff, right? Think about the goals and how they're what's the word I'm looking for? Realistic. Okay. The SMART goal has realistic in it, but relevant, realistic I'd like to use the word realistic better. Okay. And you need to have long-term goals, or you need to have short-term goals, then a medium-term goal, and then a long-term goal. A degree. Short-term goals, pass this class. Medium or next shorter one could be pass a semester, complete a semester. Next one could be complete 2 semesters. So those are short-term goals, right?
Yeah.
Medium-term goals are, I want to get to be a junior in college. I want to be a senior in college. And now I want to graduate, right? And then the long-term goal, 5 to 10 years down the road. What do you want? I want to have a job working in the field that I got my degree in. Very specific, very realistic, very measurable, right? Short, medium, and long-term goals for every goal you have is something we need to add. Is those goals need to have those steps, because as you have them, okay, excuse me, as you make those goals and you have the short, medium, and long-term goals, and they're specific and everything, you're working toward it. Can you have more than one goal at a time?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to have that only goal. Writing them down lets you know, hey, these are things we can do. But I'll tell you what, I want to show you a story real quick from Liam and Maria. Look at their perspectives, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, Connor?
Okay.
Tuning in, not blending in. In today's story from the fire, 2 new hires, Liam and Maria, start in the same marketing role. Liam does his job well. Maria also does her job well, but she also creates a PDP. She identifies a need for data analysis skills, takes an online course, and seeks out projects where she can apply her new knowledge. A year later, when a marketing analyst role opens up, Maria is the obvious choice. That was a story from the fire. Murph Man, are you feeling the heat?
All right. Liam and Maria started the same marketing role. Liam does his job well. Maria does her job well. They're equal, right?
Yeah.
But she also creates a professional development plan. She identifies a need for data analysis skills, takes on an online course, and seeks out projects where she can apply her new knowledge. A year later, when marketing analysis position comes up, she can jump into it. Now, one of my favorite stories in my life was I was a supervisor of a day treatment program, and I had a bachelor's degree, and I was working on my master's degree. And I started taking on jobs that the director would do. Okay. And I did things that were not my job. Okay. I did things that I was able to do.
Yeah.
And I just did them. I learned how to do them, and I did them. We got a new employee coming in. Okay. And I trained him on everything I did. Right. And then I got my master's degree one day. And I go to my boss. I'm like, all right, I now have the only requirement I was missing is my master's degree. Okay. And he says, Sean, if I didn't think you were management material yesterday, what makes you think I think you are today with just a piece of paper? Damn, right? So I started looking for a job. And that's how I got the job at the Renova shelter. And what was funny was my boss, Patsy, because I ended up getting the job, she calls him for a reference. And what was funny, during the interview process, I didn't put him as a reference. And she's like, how do you not put your boss as a reference? I said, he is just so busy. He never is in the office, you know? And she goes, oh, I've known him since school. I'll just call him on his cell phone. Crap.
Oh.
Anyway, I got the job. I left. Not 3 weeks later, maybe I lied, maybe 5 weeks, because it had to be at least 1 month for all the reports to be made. He's like, I need you to come back. I will give you the position. I will give you whatever money you want for the director, within reason, of course, right? I need you to come back. And I said, last month you didn't think I was management material. What makes you think I'm management material now? And he says, I had no idea what you were doing. And he says, you left and so many reports fell through the cracks.
Wow.
And he says, what? I said, what happened to the guy that we hired? And, you know, I trained him how to do my job. Well, he realized those jobs we were doing were not part of his job description. They were part of the program director's position. He's like, I don't have to do them.
Oh.
And yeah, a couple of months later, the business was out of business. It just, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, is it my fault? Maybe.
I would say so.
Maybe.
Stupid.
But I threw it back at him and I said, what makes you think that I'm management material a month later? Because nothing's changed. What changed is he realized everything I was doing for him.
Yeah.
Now, did I fail and not tell him what I was doing? You know, because one of the things I tell you is tell your boss what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
No, because I was taking on the job myself. Now, if he would have said one day, hey, who's been doing this report for 3 months? Well, Sean has. Okay. See, it would have been nice. I was doing the job already. Then one day, nothing changes and I make 30,000 more. Easy, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to learning a new job, being the director, having to worry about everything. I learned all those skills before I even had the job. Okay.
Mm.
So it's funny that he needed me. And he literally called me and offered me the money. And I'm just like, no, dude. Like,
Wow.
I'm really happy where I'm at. Now, remember we talked about the job where I was at? I was a counselor working with kids. I never had done that before. So that was interesting to learn.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the irony there is that I learned those skills and I became a great counselor. And I actually got known for working with kids. I would have never thought that was going to happen, honestly. You know?
Yeah.
But for those of people who knew me in school and everything, they're like, how is he able to do this? And I just learned it.
Yeah.
Excuse us. All right. So having the goals is important. You know, knowing where you're going is important. Having the professional development plan is important. Knowing the skills you need to have is important. Like Nike says, just do it.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Sorry, allergies.
Just do it. And speaking of just do it, I have ADD. I'm not fixed. Bless you.
Oh my God. The guy.
Okay, that's 3 sneezes. That's all the blessings you get. Okay.
I've had more than 3.
I know you have, but I'm saying I just do 3 in a row.
I got a Kleenex box. I'm okay. I helped my friend move out yesterday from his house.
And all the boxes had dust on them and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, the house was dusty. I was like, damn. All of us were like, damn.
Oh, they didn't realize how dusty it was? You know.
We moved everything because like they got it from their grandparents.
Yeah.
It was like passed down to them when they passed away. And they didn't like move anything. the front room was like their grandparents. So
full of dust.
Super full of dust.
Now, you say that when I think of, like, I haven't dusted in a while, not a long time, but enough to have a little bit of dust on the table. And this past week I fell down because I hurt my hip. And I remember reaching down, and I started telling.
I'm sorry. Let me excuse myself real quick to wet my face.
Well, I was going to tell you the story. Let me just finish this part. I was
all kicking in now.
I was telling my brother, yeah, I fell here, and then I reached down to the table, and he looks right there because he could actually see my handprint and a little bit of dust. I'm like, yeah. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's take a break. Usually we do it after the heat map. Let's do it before, and we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back, you guys.
Sounds good.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
Observe, interpret, and thrive. The heat map will show you where to focus your efforts for the most impact. Identify your 1 and 3 year career goals. Be specific. Assess your current skills. Ask yourself and your manager, what skills will I need to get to the next level? Set 1 or 2 SMART goals for professional development each quarter. The map is drawn. Back to Murph Man for the next segment.
We are back.
We are back. And I was supposed to hit a break. I thought I did. And I know what happened.
What?
During the break, I moved the heat map in order and it activated it.
Oh.
So do you need more time or can we go into the heat map?
I'm good.
All right.
If I do sneeze, then I'll excuse myself.
All right. So the heat map. Observe, interpret, and thrive. Okay. Identify your 1 year, 3 year goals and be specific. Short term is a couple months, 1 year, 3 year to 5 year. If you want to even go longer, 5 to 10 year. Okay. Depending on what the goal is.
Yeah.
If your degree is to get your degree, if your goal is to get your degree and you get your degree, then
now what?
And hold on.
Oh. Don't want to lose the live again.
Yeah. And you're not going to have a goal of 5 and 10 years for earning a degree. You want to do that within 4 to 5. Okay. So sometimes having longer term goals like owning the home for you, owning a Corvette, right?
Yeah.
And a home and whatever you're going to do with it, right? Access your current skills. Ask yourself and your manager, what skills will I need to get to the next level? Sometimes you're already doing them, they don't know. And then set 1 or 2 SMART goals for professional development.
Your turn.
I cough, he sneezes.
Yeah.
Dude.
You say bless
sweet.
me to me, I say cough you.
Cough you.
I don't know what to say for that. You sneeze and you say bless you, but what about a cough?
Well, first off, ADD. Do you know why they say bless you when you sneeze?
No.
In old times, they used to think that when you sneezed, that was your soul leaving your body.
Oh.
So they would say bless you. And hopefully the soul would go back in. Anyway, for a cough, I don't say anything.
It's a demon trying to come out.
It's a demon trying to go, yeah.
Christ compels you. Every time someone
The
coughs,
power of Christ.
just throw
You
holy
gotta say
water
the
at
whole
them.
thing.
Just be like this.
That'd be funny. Every time they sneeze, spray. Anyway, going back to the heat map, you guys, okay? You need to have those steps, those actionable steps that you can take to reach your goal for professional development. Okay, that's very important. You need to be able to sit there and learn and do things, okay? So it's very important.
Yes.
having those SMART goals, having those steps, having everything gives you direction and purpose, not just because, right? It tells you where you're going, and you need to know that.
Yeah.
You need to know that. All right. So I'll tell you what, we're going to go to break now for real. And when we come back, we'll talk about where those pitfalls are you're going to fall and you could get burned, and the shields to help you protect yourself from that. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
The web at mbradio.us.
Before we get back to the show, listen up, El Paso. Many things are coming to El Paso, and you want to stay in the loop. We are setting up trivia, bingo, and karaoke coming to locations near you. Follow us on all the social media platform at purehottakes.com to stay updated.
All right. Exciting things coming to El Paso. You know, I started a business called Borderline Success Holdings, and under that, I have my animation studios, my production studios, everything. I have Borderline Entertainment, which is my trivia and bingo karaoke branch. I have my Murphman events, which is all my podcasting, my live hosting, emceeing, and all that. Right?
Yeah,
it's coming. It's coming, and I'm getting it together little by little, and I'm excited. Hopefully we can do some of those trivia and bingo nights soon.
Yeah.
I'm working on the website right now.
What are you working on right now, or what? Like on the website?
Just making my pages, and it's not hard, but I'm trying to make it look more professional, and that's where I'm having a little bit of issues because I can do a website, but
Right. Anybody can, yeah.
No, believe it or not
With the
just anybody.
templates, yeah. There's templates now where you literally don't need anything. You need to put your information, that's it. But it would have like everything set up already.
Right.
So
right.
Some people only need would just be the information. That's it.
Okay. Let me. I'm curious. Let me see if I can log in here real quick. Anyways, I can show everybody the screen. I'll share my screen with them. But
if you can log in,
I can. All right. So anyway, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, we have a lot of things coming here to El Paso, you guys. And it's all gonna be me. Not lying. It's all gonna be me. Let me show you here real quick.
That's true.
Okay, let me share my screen real quick so I can show you guys this.
All right.
All right. I don't know. Tell me what you think about it as you see it. Okay, these are the templates you're talking about, right?
No, but yeah.
Okay.
At the same time, because there was one where literally it's a website with the heading, the title, and then sections.
That's what this is.
Well, but
There's
smaller.
sections.
Smaller. That's
Well-
like the full thing.
Well, no, and that's the thing. I can adjust it and go smaller.
All right, I meant like
But watch this.
with like it's a small box instead of like the whole screen.
Mine are the
Templates.
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 Okay. So then look at this. Each one of those is a page I'm working on. Because those are all the different things that I have going on with this. So how cool is that? And let me show you my second page real quick. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I'm excited, and it's not easy to do that, but I'm learning more specifics how to do it. And I used to do HTML on front page, and
HTML.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I was thinking HDMI.
No, HTML is the website language, and there were templates, and I had to go in and change certain things, and I knew how to change. Like I wanted to go make this red, I had to find the line of code for red, and I could do that. Now it does it all for you, so it's a lot easier. But knowing what I want to write in there is where I'm having trouble with it. But getting back to the show, let's talk about those heat shields that'll help you prevent from falling into those pitfalls.
Your values are your anchor. Here are your heat shields. Your development heat shield is the next level skill gap. The heat here is stagnation, doing the same job year after year. Deploy this shield by continuously evaluating the skills required for the role above you, not just the one you currently hold. Investing time and resources into closing this skill gap shields your career from obsolescence and ensures you're ready for promotion the moment the opportunity arises. The shields are up. Murphman, what's next?
Well, not what's next, what's before. I don't know what happened. I deleted the wrong clip when I was moving things around. Remember, because we were gonna go to break and I didn't, and yeah, I don't know what I did. I'm sorry. I got them out of order. It happens.
It's at least we saw it.
Yeah. So where are you gonna get burned? Letting your career just happen to you. You know, if you're not taking ownership or have a plan or being the architect, you're not gonna get anywhere, right? Create a plan, but never looking at it, obviously, and setting vague goals. Those are all things we've talked about, right?
Yeah.
So let's get to the heat map that we just talked about. Okay. Or heat shields, I'm sorry.
Heat shields.
All right. So the heat shields are ways to protect yourself from getting burned. So if getting burned is letting your career just happen to you, be more proactive. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
If the pitfall is never looking at your plan, write it down, put reminders around. They're called prompts. And setting vague goals, use SMART goals. Makes sense, right?
Yeah. Should make sense.
It should.
If it's like, if you can't do it because of this, then do this. It's
But-
like a cause and effect for everything.
It is
Like,
cause and effect. That it is. You know. So think about that, okay? You have these pitfalls that are very easy to fall into, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't do anything to change anything, it's not going to go well for you, right? So be proactive. Take what you need to take in your life to get to where you want to go, because you don't realize all that, right?
Yeah.
I like the fact that when I have a goal, I reach it for the most part. But I do it a little differently. My goals right now are financial. I want to get debt free. So I have my budget for the next 7 years, 6 years now, to 32.
Wow.
Assuming I have the same job, same salary, same everything, okay? But I have my bills, and I can actually say, okay, this bill I'm going to pay. Like, for example, I bought printer and printer ink. That was $1,000.
Yeah.
And I got it on Best Buy's card and no interest. Hold on. I'm on live on TikTok. I need to verify I'm real and everything. So give me a sec. This shouldn't be all right. And
It's always those captchas, bro.
yeah, they are.
They always make something new.
Right.
I swear.
My budget, like I said, so I have a 12-month payment plan to pay off the $1,000 printer and ink. Just no interest, right? So I go into my calendar, I put it down, no interest, right, payment. And then let's say I were to buy something that, like for example, when I buy my equipment right now, the $15,000 to $20,000 of everything I'm going to be putting together, if I'm making payments on that, or if I get a loan, low interest, whatever the case may be, right? That's a 5-year payment. There I go, right? Doing the 5-year payment plan. And I can put it into my budget. So if I want to be debt free by December, I look at my bottom line of December and see if there's any extra money that I haven't accounted for. And I put it into a bill in December. Then I start January. Anything at the end of the month that's extra, I either can put in savings or pay out bills, whatever the case may be, right? And that's how I measure my goal. Okay, is how many payments am I paying off, right? And like I told you one time, I paid off so many credit cards or so many debts or so many loans or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, that's cool. That's cool, you know? It's one of those things that for me right now, if I follow my plan, by the time I retire at 62, which I'm not going to get all my retire, because I don't know if 65 you get more money, 67 you get more money, and you know you lose it or you don't. But like I get money ahead of time, and I won't have it when I turn 65. You know, because it could be like $800 more, 400. I don't know what the difference is.
I was gonna ask you that. Yeah.
But you don't break even until you're like 80 years old.
Break even for what?
If I get the money early versus waiting for the full amount.
Well, what amount?
I'll give you an example. Let's say retiring at 62 gives you $1,000 a month. Retiring at 65 gives you $1,500 a month. All right. So from 62 to 65, that's $36,000, $1,000 a month for 3 years. If I waited till I turned 62, I get $500 more a month. But to make up to those 36, I have to live 72 months, which is 6 years, before I even break even on the money.
Wow.
Okay. At 62, I'll also be fully invested in my TRS money for the teacher's retirement. Right?
Yeah.
And then my disability. Right? So by 62, I have 3 incomes. Well, Social Security is changing. Let's not even go there. They've mismanaged it to the point where I'm not even get that money as much as I would, which really sucks. Don't get me started on that.
Well, why? How'd you know, or what?
The government has borrowed from Social Security for so long that they can't even afford to make their monthly payments right now. It's going to have to decrease.
Oh.
And people who are on Social Security have fixed incomes, right?
Uh-huh.
And now their money's going to go down.
By how much or what? Just
Who
like a
knows?
little amount?
It could be $30 a month, could be $50, $100 a month. We don't know how bad it is because it's been mismanaged so much by the government. And I'm not blaming Trump on this. This is something that's been going on 30, 40 years. Okay. No one's fixed that. They never balanced the budget. They always took it and borrowed money from Social Security. And, some presidents did better than others, but yeah, but at 62, I can retire, but I have a house payment. What?
No, sorry. Some presidents sleep better than others. Yeah, some sleep for a while, like a long time.
Some presidents are better than others.
Oh, they said sleep better. That's why I was like, sleep better. I'm like, oh, because some are dead or what? I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
I have nothing. Here, let me turn your microphone up. I mean, headphones up. Some presidents are better than others.
Are better. Okay.
Or were.
You said something before better. I don't know why I thought it said
presidents are. Anyway, if I want to get to that amount of money that I'm going to have my retirement, I'm going to say I'm going to get this much from Social Security, this much from disability, this much from teacher retirement. Right?
Yeah.
Now, the teacher retirement, I could choose to take a lower amount every month. But when I die, you would get a payment for the rest of your life.
And would my payment be higher if you take lower the money?
No, if I take the higher money amount, you don't get anything. So like I told you, if I could give you $500 a month, I don't know what the amount is right now, right? For the rest of your life, as you get older, you're gonna be making money. You might be making $10,000 a month. 500 is nothing, but if you put those $500 straight into a savings account or something to invest, if you lose it, you're not hurting your income, right? And by the time you're 40, you're definitely going to be over a millionaire. Believe it or not. Assuming when I die. But you could be a millionaire in 20 to 30 years, putting $500 away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with compounded interest and, investing in stocks and bonds and everything. But I'm going to be on a fixed income at that point, meaning I'm not going to get more money. Now, I could work, right, and make money, but if I make $24,000 in work, then my payment goes down $1 for every $2 I make. So if I make $24,002, my payment goes down $1. If I make $50,000, it goes down $2,500. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my goal is by the time I turn 62, right, to retire from my job and only have my business working. And as I'm sitting here, okay, and I'm saying, okay, what do I need to do to reach there? What are some of my problems I'm going to have with being this what's it called? On this fixed income. I need to make money right now. Okay. And you don't realize it so much. Okay. Because if you're sitting there, I'm sorry, if you're sitting there and you don't plan on what your bills are going to be in 6 years, then that fixed income is going to hurt you if you don't have a lot. Right?
Yeah.
I had investments and everything, but I had to pay. I took it all out when your mom died. You know, so I'm starting over again, basically, after she passed. But one of the things I'm going to do is, by the age of 62, have my house loan paid off. So if I stay here or we move or whatever we decide to do right now this year, right? I told you by January I want to do something.
Yeah.
I have from January till the time I'm 62 to pay off that house, which is 7 years. Well, actually, it's 5 now. All my income has to go into paying the house off. So when I get to 62, all I have to pay is my taxes and insurance. You know, if at that point I need to retire and I need the money, you're not going to get anything. If I can give it to you, great, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But I have to be not only debt free, but all my payments have to go into a house and a new car, right?
Yeah.
And that car will be paid off in 6 to 7 years, the same time as retirement. So I can retire with a car that is good,
Yeah.
and I can have a house that's paid off, and hopefully I'm not spending money on credit cards and everything, right? And then I'm good. You know, is that a good goal?
I mean, it's a good goal, I would say.
Because every one of my goals, personal, professional, business, podcasting, everything,
Yeah.
reaches to that one goal at 62, be debt free, have my house paid off, have my car paid off, and have enough money to be comfortable when I'm retired.
Yeah.
So can I have the same end goal, but have several different sub goals? We talked about that, right? Short, medium, long-term goals, and then very long.
Yeah.
All my long-term goals are going to be when I'm 62 and retire. You know, that's what you need to do when you're planning this stuff. You need to be able to say, hey, what is it that I want to get to? What am I doing? And get there. Okay. Think about all that. When you're young, like you are, you get your first job. The first thing you need to do is figure out how much you're going to put in savings.
Yes.
Because you might be living here, you might be living in an apartment, whatever, right? But also you get this first job that gives you some serious money. Starting from that moment, take out a couple $100 and put into savings every month. Don't even touch it. Like, go and get one of those, make your account, like on Chase, for example. Have your money go to savings, create an account, and when it says suggest password, let it suggest it like Google.
No.
Hold on, wait. And then forget your password. So you can't go into your account. Then you have to forget password and it'll let you. Right? But have it in a bank that you can walk into, like Chase or Wells Fargo or something. And you walk in with your ID one day and say, I need to take money out. And you'd never keep an eye on your balance. Just make sure it gets there.
Aren't they going to tell me to log in?
No. Not when you go to the bank.
Oh.
You give your ATM card or whatever.
Because Navy Federal, didn't they do that last time? Because we couldn't log in?
No. The accounts were not attached to what we were trying to do.
Oh, okay.
And anyway, so you do that, and then let's say for example, let's say you don't change your address or anything, right?
Yeah.
And you get your debit card, you chop it up so you can't take money out of that account, right? In 3-5 years, you're going to get a letter in the mail that's going to have your new debit card. And you're going to be like, oh, I got this money going into this bank account for 5 years. I have no idea how much I have right now. Right?
Yeah.
You know, but you want to be able to put money in from the day one and never look at it again. $50, $100, depending on how much you're making, right?
Yeah.
And like I told you, if you were to get the job like cybersecurity and make $100,000 a year, right? This house, if you wanted to live here with me, we'd fix it up, add on an addition, make it bigger, maybe a second story in one part of the, who knows, right? And you would be paying everything to the house to pay it off. So when we retire, you now have the house to yourself. And it's paid off. So imagine being, let's see, 7 years from now, 26, okay. You'll be in a house that's paid off, have a car that you might have been able to pay off, and have nothing to worry about. And like I told you, if I ever get sick, just throw my butt in a nursing home. I'm okay. I lived my life, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, look at all that stuff because it's really interesting when you think about it. If you put money in now and you don't even touch it, and you keep an eye on the bank, obviously, you look at your account once in a while, but you don't touch it. Take out your debit card, right? Forget your password so when you log in, it's there, whatever. But one day you look at it and you have 50,000 or more. You're going to be like, what? Where did this money come from? Don't touch it. Let it keep going.
Yeah.
And by the time you're 40, millionaire. Easy.
Wow.
20 years, putting in the $200 to $300 a month. If you can put more until you can't and then lower it, but don't go, too low. You always want to keep investing. That's the most important part is keep putting the money in. And like my cousin says, if you're trying to make money and you want to invest in the stock market, where would you put your money? I'm just curious.
I have no idea. Bitcoin.
I wouldn't do crypto personally. Maybe because I'm old school. Right?
What would you do?
Well, take his advice and it's buy the stocks in what you use.
So like what, Amazon?
Right. Or Walmart. Or if you like soda, Coke, because that's what you like. And why not invest in it?
True.
Don't try to be like, oh, there's a new soda out on Baja Blast, whatever. Maybe I should invest in Mountain Dew because it's the newest thing, okay.
And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's some stocks you can invest in where they give you a dividend. They'll pay you a certain percentage every 3 months, every 6 months, every year, whatever they set up. So you get income from those stocks. Okay. Some stocks give you access to specials. Like I think AMC does it where if you have own stock with AMC, you can go in and get their plan for free or something if you own so many stocks. I forget how it works.
Wow.
But look into those stocks that give you that. You can type in what stocks have perks, what stocks have dividends, and you can do that too.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can buy, there's a certain rule in your investment. So when I say 100%, I'm talking about 100% of the investment, not your income. Okay. 50% goes into stable stuff that's going to be there forever. Then 30% goes into medium risk stuff. Okay. Semi-new, but not really stabilized yet, maybe a Bitcoin or some crypto. And then 20% you want to put into very high risk because that could have a payoff big time or not. Like, for example, if I could have gotten in Bitcoin for a cent for every stock and I bought 100, I'd have 6 million right now.
Wow.
Okay. That one cent whatever, right? That's what you do with those 20%. It's you don't count them. You invest and you can put them in high risk stuff, and you go in and before you know it, yeah, you know. One of the things a lot of people do. You've heard of hedge funds?
No.
Hedge funds? No.
I've heard, but I don't know what they are.
It's a bunch of companies that get together and invest, and then they go buy stuff, or they invest it, and they go to the higher risk stuff. Now, a lot of hedge funds were buying up properties. So that's why one of the reasons this market is so high right now is because everyone's buying up all the properties. There's all these smaller homes. They're buying them up. They're fixing them. They're flipping them, and they're making money as rent. Okay. And in the long term, they pay it off, or they sell it, or whatever. Then everyone gets their cut from it. But we're talking about owning several hundred to several thousand homes.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. And the little person has trouble buying a house because they can't afford the prices, because they've inflated them so much, because it's a false market. So there's all that involved. Okay. But yeah, what is your plan? If your plan is to invest money, do it, and you'll be golden by the time you get to be 40, 45. Yeah. Imagine that. Okay. I had you at 36. Yes. Imagine you being 5 years old and I'm a millionaire. Wow. Right. How different would our life have been? Right. But that could have happened.
Could have.
Okay. If I had planned properly.
Yeah.
And imagine having a point where you don't have to work anymore. Right?
Yeah.
God, that'd be nice. Like my cousin.
Almost my whole life.
Well, yeah, but like my cousin, at like 40, he stopped working. His wife was a teacher, and she wanted to keep going to school because she liked it. She liked teaching. She just retired, you know. And now they're going to go travel the world and whatever, you know. But get to the point where you invest and you plan. Because I'll tell you right now, in my opinion, my hot take, in my opinion, investing and planning to be debt free and everything by the time you're 40 will make your life so much easier. It'll just make it so much easier. Now, I don't know how it all works with if you're married and you get divorced, you know, does it become half of hers? And it happens, right? So you got to find a way to avoid that if you can, because you never know if the marriage is going to last or not. Also, for the record, if you win the lottery today and get divorced tomorrow, she's still entitled to half the lottery.
After taxes? Like after?
Yeah, she's entitled to half whatever you get.
Wow. Is there, and then what
no,
about?
Because you're married and everything is split down 50-50.
So no matter what, if I break.
No, not no matter what. You can negotiate and say, okay, I'll give you this much money, but I get the house and I get the car, and or vice versa. She can say, I'll give you the car and give me more money.
Yeah. How much even is the lottery? Do you know? Last time you checked?
I don't know if it won, but it was $1 billion for the Powerball,
Mm-hmm.
which would have been $433 million paid out to you in a lump sum. And from that, you pay all the taxes and everything for that year too. That's crazy. And then if you get payments, you would get about, I think it was $20 million a year for 30 years. Okay. And you think about that, $30 million a year minus taxes. So let's just say you would get, what's 3, I'm trying to think, what's a good percentage? I think it's 25%. Right?
Of what?
No, I'm saying over your income. So if you get 5 million would go to taxes and 15 will be what you live on. $1 million a month, basically. You can invest that, and now you have generational wealth where you can invest stuff that your children can get, and they'll be able to use it. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And their kids and their kids. It's called generational wealth. If you plan it right. Or most lottery winners go broke after 7 years.
Wow.
Like you don't think about this, right? Let's say you're 20 years old this
Yeah.
year. You win the lottery
Yeah.
and you buy a $5 million home. All right, cash, boom, right? And then you pay, you buy whatever else you're going to buy. 30 years from now, you're 50, and you've lived a life. You spent all your money. Everything's good, right? But now all that real property you own, you have to pay taxes on it, property taxes, insurance. And if you have a $5 million home, where are you going to get $100,000 a year?
Yeah, you got to get a good job for that.
Well, you're 50. You haven't worked in 20, 30 years because you've had this $1 million lottery. Right?
Yeah.
So even then, you got to plan for the future. You're not rich forever.
Yeah.
You know, plan it out and do that. So when you get to your age that you want to retire at, you can do it and not have to stress about it. Financing for me is the first goal. Now, are there short-term goals for there? Yeah, get your degree, get a job, you know, whatever the case may be, right? But as soon as you get those first paychecks, start saving immediately. You know, 10% would be great. Okay. If you invest those 10% over the years, it'll grow very quickly. I promise you that. If you sit there and you do nothing, you're going to get to my age and be like, "Ooh, I got no money. What do I do?" You know, and I'll tell you, with my first wife, I bought my first house at 23 years old. Straight up bought my first house at 23 years old. Okay. Bought my second house at 28. Got divorced. And I had to sell them.
Wow.
You know, but right now, those houses would have been paid off. You know, it would have just been making profit on the rent. Isn't it? If you really think of it that way.
Yeah.
You know, but people get greedy. You want to sell the house, and then, all right, ni modo. Right.
Yeah.
You can do it. Like, because I'm telling people, you know, I've had a horrible situation after my wife passed away, but I was good before that. I was good. But yeah, keep that in mind. If you make your financial goals your primary goal, you'll do much better in the long run. But you need to have other steps to get there. Okay.
Yeah. Makes sense.
All right. So let's get back to our slides and the afterburn. And let's see what are those questions for reflection on what we've been talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
What culture helps you thrive? In today's Afterburn, here are some questions for you to reflect on. Where do I realistically want to be in my career in 3 years? What are the key skills of people who currently hold that role? What is one concrete action I can take this month to invest in my growth? Reflection complete. Murphman, time for your final thoughts.
All right. Where do I realistically want to be in my career in 3 years? Okay. With everything I got going on with my business, my boss is like, you're going to quit, aren't you? I'm like, no, I'm going to be here until I'm 62. I'm too old to be changing jobs and learning a new thing and having a new skill gap and all that crap.
Like, you could learn stuff at your
I
age.
could. I know I'm not stupid.
I know that.
But do I want to? That's the point, Connor. Do I want to go through the hassle? Right?
But
what?
The more question is like, do you need to?
Do I need to what?
Focus on it.
Well, yeah.
You don't got to put your time on it.
If I get a new job, I have to learn a new job.
But I'm like, do you need another job or do you just want another job?
No. That's the thing. I'm going to stay at my job until I retire. I'm not going to change jobs because I don't want to deal with the hassle of dealing with a new job.
All right.
Does that make sense? Now, what happens if my business shuts down? They go bankrupt or whatever. Guess what? I got to get a new job.
How are they going to lose their job? Just unplug the computer?
No, like the company goes bankrupt.
No.
And I have nowhere to connect to.
I was saying because it was like, it's online school.
Yeah.
I would like just unplug it. That's it.
Oh, school's out. Boop.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. But yeah, so realistically, where do you want to be in 3 years? If I ask you, you're gonna say, I don't know. Right? Where do you want to be in 3 years? And don't say I don't know.
Oh.
See?
In school, still a senior, I would say.
Okay.
Would I?
Finishing your degree. Close
Or
to it.
in my
Close
fifth,
to it.
would it my 5th year?
Yeah, you
Since
probably
this is
would
my
have one more
second,
year
so-
to go. You'd be a senior. Okay, so but you'd be finishing your degree is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Okay. What about this? What are the key skills of people who currently hold that role? What do people have where you want to be in 3 years, which is a degree, right?
A job.
A job. Do you want to do teaching assistant job to get there and work part-time at school and help people in the labs and teach classes and everything?
If I know the material that well, yes.
You know,
But that'll be like in 2-3 years tops.
right.
So
That's what we're talking about, 3 years.
yeah. I'm like, I'm trying to think about it. I'm like, will I really want to do a TA?
I don't know. Well, the last question is, what is one concrete action you can take this month to invest in your future growth?
Learn more about my degree.
Okay.
And
well, you're starting school this month and you have some new classes and everything. So
yeah, just do it over and over again.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the only thing you could do.
I do wish you luck with that, Connor.
Thank you.
But I'll tell you what, I want to take a quick break, and I am taking a break. Okay. And we will be back after these messages.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
She's from Alabama, I caught her red-handed, drinking whiskey on Saturday night. I can't imagine I'm overreacting, she's losing her mind. I met her mama and told her about her problems, how it's happened now a couple of times. And girl, I'm sorry, I'll be gone by the morning, cause you ain't the marrying type. Well, she's got a way with words and I know it hurts, so Lord, it's protect your pride. And girl, that's the way it works, and we ain't the first ones tricked by the morning light. So we came up, make love, then we take some, stay up, wake up all the neighbors. Yeah, I swore I was done with her, but she's got a way with words. Yeah, she's got a way with words, and I swore I was done with her, but she's got a way with words. I wasn't honest, if I'm being honest, I fed her a couple of lies. And now she's calling me, going on and on about another guy. So I take the bottle off the counter and I pour one. She's the only reason that I always gotta pour up. And ain't it funny that I bought the bottle for us? I'm the only one who's drinking now, baby. Well, she's got a way with words and I know it hurts. So Lord, it's protect your pride. And girl, that's the way it works, and we ain't the first ones tricked by the morning light. So we came up, make love, then we take some, stay up, wake up all the neighbors. Yeah, I swore I was done with her, but she's got a way with words. Yeah, she's got a way with words, and I swore I was done with her, but she's got a way with words. Yeah, I swore I was done with her, but she's got a way with words.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Before we get back to the show, listen up, El Paso. Many things are coming to El Paso, and you want to stay in the loop. We are setting up trivia, bingo, and karaoke coming to locations near you. Follow us on all the social media platform at purehottakes.com to stay updated.
I don't know why I said that. Yeah, I just realized
What?
it says purehottakes.com.
Oh, yeah.
This should just be at Pure Hot Takes. God, AI sucks.
Why do they never use it?
Oh, shut up. I use it all the time. It's fine.
Sometimes.
I use it a lot when I was setting up my business.
Well,
now,
AI
not so much.
just sucks sometimes.
It doesn't. But I'll tell you what. We'll talk about that right now in our segment called Digital Inferno.
Yeah.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will
I already did it, Sean.
Slack etiquette is situational. Your PDP lives on platforms like LinkedIn and Notion. Use LinkedIn to perform reverse engineering. Analyze the skills listed by people who have the job you want next. Use this data to populate a digital skill gap tracker in Notion. Furthermore, utilize online learning platforms, Coursera, Udemy, to gain the specific, targeted skills needed to bridge that gap, often using your company's tuition reimbursement system.
All right. Your plan lives on a platform like LinkedIn and Notion. How is that? Okay. They call it reverse engineering. See what jobs people have that you want, see what they list as their skills, and learn those skills. Right?
Yeah.
That's one way you can use technology. Okay. Now, people, I mean, I know you know when I say a search on Google, right?
Yeah.
You search for Google and it gives you ideas, options, right? But Google has AI mode. And
Gemini.
No. I'm talking on the search engine. If you go to Google.com and you type something, it gives you an AI option.
Yes, that's Google Gemini.
No, it's not. It's Google AI.
Which is Gemini. That
Gemini
AI
is
for
an
Google
app.
is Google.
Gemini is an app separate from that.
What?
Google search is Google AI. It's different than the Gemini program.
Okay.
Gemini has a lot more features and everything. It's sort of like, it's the AI mode on steroids. Okay. So, like, for example, if I type in, people use a search for, I want to go eat tacos today. Give me some options near me. Is that okay to use a Google search for that? Yeah, right. That's what internet searching used to be. I need to find a place that prints business cards, and it gives you options. Now the AI mode, same questions. Give me some places that have restaurants near me. Well, what kind of food would you like? Oh, well, I'm feeling like eating some Mexican. Okay. Do you want to drive a little further, or do you want to say, it's a lot different using the AI mode. Okay.
Which is Gemini.
If you use something different, like if you search for, I want to buy a computer, and then you can say, oh, well, I have this computer now with these specs. I recommend another one, and it gives you a lot of options. And then you can go and say, tell me more about this one, tell me more about that one. And it's literally just a conversation as opposed to having to do a search every time. So the AI mode lets you do that. Now, why do I say that? Well, you can ask it, I am getting a job in computer science. What kind of jobs can I get? But even before that, what skills do I need to learn to do that? And then you have a conversation with AI. Okay, I know you don't like to do any of that, but it's really a way of working out problems for me, because that AI mode lets me have a conversation that I can ask it questions and expand on it instead of just saying, where do I want to eat? And getting options.
Yeah.
It helps me choose, and I use it for business and everything. And I'll say something like, I want to create a business. Tell me about the different options I have. Tell me more about these. Oh, this sounds like a good idea. Now, here's my plan. What do you think? And it's a conversation, but it's answering all your questions. Same way a Google search would do. But it's all in one chat. As opposed to searching, going to a page, going to a page.
Yeah.
It's all in there now. That's the thing about AI. Do you know what SEOs are?
No.
It's a search engine optimization.
Ah.
And you have to have those SEOs correct if you expect your business to come in. And if they search for it and it's not there, search terms are not there.
Sure.
Okay.
Sorry.
You know what's funny was back when my club had rivalry with the other club here in town, I did the SEO to where my page appeared before theirs, even though their page had the city name in it.
Wow.
Okay, because of the search terms. If you know how to use all that, it's really awesome. But yeah, so going to LinkedIn and just going to a person's page and going, oh, there's the skills I need. How much easier is that?
Easier.
A lot easier. Okay. It's funny. I have this one person on LinkedIn that we message each other every now and then. I don't remember her.
You don't?
I don't. And I don't know if she just added me on LinkedIn or vice versa. And, it was like a suggested connection. And we talked and I don't know. Like she actually replied one day, hey, how's such and such person? I'm like, does she know me or does she know I work there and that person works there? I don't want to be stupid and go, how do I know you? Right. If you're listening, tell me. But yeah, LinkedIn is one of those things that you can use it for a lot of different options. Okay. You can look for businesses, you can look for everything and learn those skills you need. And then you can add them to your pages. If you see someone that has a lot of connections, right? The algorithm will find connections for you. And before you know it, like you as a student, start adding all those people.
Yeah.
And they'll say, hey, Connor, I see that you're studying cybersecurity. How far along are you? Have you taken this class yet? No, whatever. Oh, if you have, I'd be happy to give you an entry-level job. You never know how it works, right? Because people are always looking. And then you can figure out what your skill gap is from there. And also utilize platforms like Coursera and Udemy to gain specific targeted skills. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Udemy. For the cybersecurity certification, the test costs, I think, $150 or $200.
Like 150, yeah. For the CompTIA?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 150, 160.
I got it on Udemy with the course to teach me it for $30.
Oh, wow.
1 and 2.
1 and 2?
Yeah.
For $30?
Yeah.
God. Yeesh. Okay.
Udemy is amazing. You guys, check it out.
I'm going to need to look that up right now.
It's one of those things that there's programs you can use. There's ideas out there, right?
Yeah.
And you can definitely see that all those things are there. Okay. And look up Udemy. Go to Udemy right now. Okay.
Yeah, let's look this up, guys.
Now I'm gonna show Connor something. Let me see. Can you share your screen?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let Connor share your screen real quick.
Okay.
Okay. Now go back one page.
Oh, one page would lead me to Google.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Okay. Look at the top real quick where it says AI.
Oh, AI mode.
Now, hold on. You see that, right?
Yeah.
You typed it on all, and it gave you all that. Scroll down just to show everybody. You typed in Udemy. It gives you all that, right? Now go to AI mode.
Okay.
And what does it say?
Still gives me Udemy. It tells me features on the platform. Tells me topics that it gives, and then ask me questions.
Do you see the difference?
Yeah.
Okay. Now go back to the all mode and go to Udemy. And then look at different programs they have.
Training courses, ChatGPT, AI Engineer, Claude. Yeah, mostly coding and AI.
Well, it's technology. So click on one of those real quick. Or do they have prices on the bottom there?
Price on the bottom. Wow, that's a pretty good discount.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, 139. But yeah, you can get it for 25.
Yeah. Okay. Udemy, sponsor us.
Nah.
All right, go ahead and stop sharing.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so Udemy is out there, and it gives you all the courses you could ever want, and it's all there. Literally, it's all there. That's why I like Udemy a lot.
Yeah.
They give you the discounts, and the programs are real easy to follow. Okay, the courses are easy. All the work is there, and it literally tells you exactly what you need for the test, and you'll learn it.
I wonder if it's the same one or it's just like a kind of a similar but different way they teach it. Because I don't know if it'll be the same as it would be like school would do it.
Teaching it is different because when it's self-paced.
Yeah.
Teaching is different. The test is the same for everybody.
Okay, the test, but the course itself is
It's
a little different. Okay, that's what I thought.
And do you know what standardization means? Ever heard of that term?
Just the normal, basic, standard type.
No.
That's what I think of it.
Standardization means the test is standard
For
across the
everybody.
field.
Yeah.
So if you tell me I got CompTIA certification, oh, which one? CompTIA. That's
the
the
one, yeah.
test.
That's it.
If I say CompTIA Plus or Network or S or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
All of those are standardized. So no matter what, you take that test, you get it.
They all stand for the same thing. Yeah.
Right.
If you get CompTIA, you would, I would obviously think every single CompTIA.
Right. When I took my test for certification, I took the health course and I walked in and took the test without studying. Because I'm amazing like that. No, basically it's my entire life, right? I walked in, I took the test, and I walked out, and the girl says, "You were supposed to raise your hand if you have a question." And I said, "I'm done." And she says, "What do you mean you're done? It's only been 43 minutes." I said, "I'm done." She says, "People take 2-3 hours doing this test." I said, "Yeah, when I did my special ed test, it took me an hour and a half." And when you take a test, it tells you your score. I missed 2 questions out of, I think it was 75.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, okay, I think I did pretty good. So that standardization is the same for everybody, regardless of what you're testing. The way you get there, the path, the journey, the courses is all different.
Yeah.
But the test is the same for everybody. So being self-paced, you go and you read about it and you learn it, I haven't really done that too much because it's not easy. And if I have questions, I like to talk to somebody, right?
Yeah.
But like if you and I were to do the course together, right? We could sit here looking at it and be like, oh, that's what it means here. That's what it means there. And we work on it together, right? Watch the course, okay? And then we answer questions.
Watch the course.
Yeah, it's online. Like videos.
Yeah. I forget this video.
There's no teacher. Hey, teacher, come into our living room. And I can pause it and say, hey, or I can go to the internet and say, hey, what does this mean? Explain it to me in more detail. And then go back to my test. Or not my test, my course. Okay. When you do that, you can learn, but it takes time. Nothing's easy. I'm not saying any of this is like overnight. Okay. It's not a scam or nothing. It's literally, here's what I got to do to get this done.
Yeah.
Right. So think about that. Use Udemy when you have a chance. It's really, really cool. And Cloud Code is one of those things that people are using more of now. And as much as I use AI, I don't know coding. And the API keys and all that is above my head right now. I haven't even bothered getting to that point. But the one thing I have learned is how to write a prompt.
That's true. Yeah.
You know,
I mean, look at the whole podcast.
Yeah.
Based on a script.
Yeah.
That you made.
Yeah. You know, that started off with, I want to start a podcast. What subjects do you recommend? Here's the ones I want to do. And then it just started from there. You know,
a whole year ago.
Yeah, over a year. Crazy. Actually, a year and 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks.
Yeah, August 4th was our first podcast.
Oh, well, when you started like looking it up, though.
Oh yeah, that was in June.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Wow.
And the first website I came up with was Hot Takes with Me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I didn't like it. Right. But so I went to Pure Hot Takes. But no, either one doesn't tell people we're talking about college.
Yeah, neither. None of this is college.
And I'm like, okay, do I change the name of the podcast? I just left this.
When he said he wanted to do the name for Hot Takes, I was like, okay, we're going to be one of those podcasters that are, you know, on TikTok. There we go. Hello.
Sorry about that. It's not the internet. Our internet didn't lock off. That was weird. It might have been StreamYard.
Probably.
But
Probably like a reset.
But go on.
But he didn't tell me it was going to be about educational. So I was like, oh. I was excited to talk about everything else except school when I'm not in school.
Right.
You suck for that.
Well, let me tell you. January, we'll have all the episodes done.
Yeah.
We can do whatever we want. We can start over again and do 1 hour of classes and 1 hour of podcast.
Classes?
Yeah, the educational stuff.
Oh. I was like, all right, class, here's the board.
Well, yeah. That's what we've been doing with the slides.
No.
No, I'm not saying that's what we're doing with the slides.
I know, but
oh, okay.
Yeah.
You do know I'm using the slides.
We just go over it though.
Right.
But we don't like actually like
right.
All right, guys. Yeah.
We just typed on the internet. We just shared.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I guess.
A smart board. You get the smartest board here. All right. So let's go ahead and start wrapping this up. Let's get to our final burn for today.
The final burn for today is Slack etiquette is situational. Your PDP lives on platforms like LinkedIn and Notion. Use LinkedIn to perform reverse engineering. Analyze the skills listed by people who have the job you want next. Use this data to populate a digital skill gap tracker in Notion. Furthermore, utilize online learning platforms, Coursera, Udemy, to gain the specific, targeted skills needed to bridge that gap, often using your company's tuition reimbursement system. The Inferno is digital. Back to Murphman to close the segment.
Tuition assistance. There's companies out there like Starbucks. From day one, you can ask for tuition assistance and they'll help you pay for college. You know, utilize the programs that are out there. What?
No, I'm sorry. I got confused. The final burn was the Digital Inferno.
Yes.
Okay.
It was a little bit of a repeat. Not an actual full repeat, but yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about, the tuition assistance.
Okay. Sorry, it's because I looked at it, I'm like, didn't we just go over this?
When I was in the Army, we had tuition assistance and you have to get approved for it and everything. And what's funny is they'll pay for your tests, and they'll pay for everything basically. And what's really cool about it is, when you sit there and you go to college and they pay for it, and a certain percentage, right? Your $1,000 course is now $200. Utilize the tuition assistance. Some kids go to work at Starbucks just to get the tuition assistance, because I don't know if there's a certain minimum hours or whatever. Okay, but remember, no matter what you do, just climb the ladder. Okay, step by step, climb the ladder. A career plan turns wishful thinking into a winning strategy. Okay, because we can all talk about it,
but we can't show it. So you got to have that career ladder going so that you're able to, climb the ladder. And a little bit redundant there.
This time, show it.
And then show yourself climbing the ladder. What about you, Connor? Do you have any questions today?
No, not that I could think of.
Okay. Well, I think that's it for now, you guys. Tune in every Saturday here on mbradio.us. Find us on socials at Pure Hot Takes, or go to MBR Talk on TikTok. We are live there as well. Everyone have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next Saturday.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching today's episode. Check us out on all social medias at Pure Hot Takes, or go to purehottakes.com for more information.
That's a wrap on this episode. If you're looking for more, you can find all the best clips from the show on our social media pages. For all the links and more information about what we talked about today, visit purehottakes.com. And if you want to watch the full replay or get access to our premium content, subscribe now at stream915.com. We appreciate you tuning in.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.